What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and I am back for a very holiday-filled, but very probably past the holiday, TokuBrew podcast, This Week in Toku. With me, as always, is Christmas enthusiast and holiday lover and enjoyer, but also has a warring insides because Halloween and and Christmas are like the gray and white wolf. Which one wins? Whichever one you feed. If you get that moral story, good for you.
I'm Stormy. My goodness, that introduction was something else. Thank you.
We are
Thank you.
technically recording this Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, I guess it is a little past midnight. Merry Christmas.
Merry,
Also, if you couldn't tell, I'm getting over a flu, so I'm gonna sound real shitty. Sorry about that. I'll do my best to not sound
but
too
yeah,
gross.
so yeah, this felt like, we're not really covering any news because obviously,
I took a COVID test. It's not COVID.
luckily, um, this is actually, it felt like a very standard week of Christmas themed Toku with Decker nearing its ending.
Yeah,
Dawn Brothers
sounds like
legitimately being Christmas, and Zero One and X-Aid's writer did what he did best. Put a pin in
spoilers.
that.
Spoilers.
Is it? Is it? We're gonna be way past it if like we don't even know how much of this is spoilers. Yeah, I got a little behind. What is it?
Yeah, we got a little behind. And so I guess you won't be missing much because next week we're not gonna have anything because of the New Year. Because they
Well,
don't.
there's a recap episode for Decker, but fuck that.
Yeah,
They admitted it out front.
they're just I guess a recap, whatever. Yeah, because they celebrate New Year, and New Year's is a little bit more of a bigger holiday over there than Christmas, so
I
they're not gonna be playing.
I don't. Maybe I'd have to double check. I don't think they're playing. Because they usually don't. So yeah, let's get right into Decker.
Interesting. A lot of this is mostly talk based.
Yeah,
It's very
we
interesting.
pretty much open up on Raymond just being like, "Don't be suspicious."
Be suspicious. Because if you remember, he discovered that Katana was in fact Decker last episode.
Yes, he did, and that is just kind of something we just that was accepted. Like Kanata didn't try to deny it or anything. There was just like a moment later on in the episode where he's like, "Kanata, what are you doing? You have something else you could be doing. Go
Do what you
do
do
it.
best.
Do it." He's just like, and I'm like, "What about that other guy? Now he might know you're Decker too."
Yeah, I always thought I thought it was funny. Like, what if he actually didn't know that? He was just trying to be nice to Kanata. So he put it together. He's like, he knows, and he does it. He's like, holy shit! Wait, you're Decker? Like that's how
You
he
didn't
found out.
you didn't tell me this whole time. And like the ending half was very fight fulfilled, but obviously it's following up on Agam's losing. We are probably definitely pronouncing that wrong, but whatever.
Probably, but we're trying our best.
Had lost his memories, and Kanata's going there to talk to him because even before he was revealed to be fully evil, he was somebody who opened up to Kanata really easily.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, but don't excite him too much because we don't want him regaining those memories."
He eventually like they approve that he goes and he's the one that's gonna go and talk to him and everything, and it looks like basically an interrogation room, and pretty much the whole episode is them talking in this room.
Yeah, it's a little and
Again, yeah, we have some fights later and they're really good.
yeah,
We got some interesting stuff, but most of the episode is in this room, and it's pretty interesting actually. It's
yeah,
really good acting.
and Agams is pretty much doing like has his memories before Lila died. Like
Yeah.
those are where his memories are, and
He remembers the humans coming to the planet and you know them fighting the sphere together, but not that she died. So
yeah, so we know he knows that much, and
he's put together that he's on Earth.
yeah, and like him and Kanata pretty much just have this heart to heart where like Kanata's like he's like, "Oh, I gotta believe my friends that we can do this," and he tells him about the mother sphere because now we know that now the bigger massosphere that we know that's gonna come up and eat the Earth up is called the mothership, pretty much the mother, which lives outside of the dimension, I guess. I don't know,
Something like that.
and like that's pretty much where they get to where it took me now to realize that Kanata's kind of wanting to protect people, and like I guess his inner thing was more connected to Dinah's ending theme, Kame. I can't even remember the full name. I love that song though. Like Adina's first ending theme, that like that's pretty much some of the lines was like, "Hey, no matter where you are, I'm going to protect you to my fullest," and like all of that. Like again, I might be a little bit wrong on the translation, but like
And you're paraphrasing.
yeah, paraphrasing a lot. Um, but I think that's actually kind of neat because especially in other extended lore, like Asuka as a person just like brought that song with him to different planets and like taught people it. So
Nice.
it's kind of one of those neat things. Uh, but yeah, no, and like that's pretty much like. Do you have anything to add about when they were just kind of being chill?
A little bit. Like, I just had to really. I really had to commend Agum's actor. Just, he
Mm-hmm.
can go from absolutely batshit insane to just, like, this really calm, collected, and just legitimately good, subtle acting. Like, he can do over the top and he can do subtle, like,
Like you saw the switch.
yeah, pretty much like on a dime. It's really good, and it was a very pleasant conversation because he was the one talking for most of it. Kind of, I was
Mm-hmm.
just kind of listening for like most of it. So he was just very pleasant to listen to.
Yeah, and he was like telling about his wife's dream was actually to come to Earth.
Like, I feel like you could make a story like that sound really cheesy as you're telling it, but the way that he told it really made it sound like he cared and that he was invested and made us invested, and it sounded a lot more genuine. Because can you imagine, like, just being like, oh, it was her dream to come to this planet and experience all these things. Like, it would sound disingenuous. And it would just kind
Yeah,
of sound like, you know, fluffy barf. But it's
yeah,
like,
it's
but
just
the way that he told it, it sounded very good and legitimate.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
So
spit that
yeah,
in the
about
microphone.
um, but yeah, no, that's pretty much like they get into their heart to heart and everything, and Kanata's saying how he wants to protect everything. And there was even a moment earlier on when like everything seemed a lot more tense when Kanata first came in, where he was like, "Oh, why don't we go walk in the courtyard, do this and whatever." Also, he was set up to an IV. I don't know what they
Yeah,
was set up that
and they
for.
never really, I mean, to be fair, it's like, yeah, he did, like, go through something so catastrophic and traumatic that it made him lose his memories, but I don't know if it would require an IV. And they did mention that he had basically gone completely silent to everybody.
Shut in.
Like, yeah, completely shut in, but he's like, I feel like I can open up to you.
Yeah, he's like, I think I feel safe around you.
I feel like it's safe for me to talk about some stuff to you.
Yeah, and
And I do actually have, like, a little bit of, like, a thing I kind of noticed since we're kind of getting towards the end of, like, their conversation.
well, I was about to say I was about to get into what happens right after it.
All right, I do want to mention one thing that kind of bugged me, but I didn't mention it while we were watching.
What? What?
Right as they were about to take him out of the room, and they're like, "Oh, you've run out of time. Like, it's time to go back." I had a realization because this was something I didn't mention while we were watching it,
Yeah.
but I realized, I was like, oh, so they went to other people, and I remember them saying, like, oh, it got approved that he could sit down and talk to him. And I'm thinking, like, with my little true crime brain, you know, and I'm like, here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Hear me out. So imagine it of, like,
I don't
oh, he
watch true
was
crime. I watch Toku.
Toku crime.
Double or Drive.
Utopia.
That one too.
But so they finally get this guy that's
Kuga.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So they get this guy that has completely closed himself off, and they want to get information on how to defeat the sphere. That was literally the whole reason that Raymond was able to, like, speak up and be like, he can help us get information on the sphere if he can get him talking. And that's what got it approved. And he got him talking, and he started talking about the sphere, and they learned something important about the mother sphere. And they were getting that important information that they wanted, and then they interrupted it, and then they were gonna, like, be like, "Oh, you ran out of time." If he was starting to get the information that they wanted, wouldn't they just let them talk as much as they fucking wanted to? Like, why did they cut it off? Why did they, like, quote unquote run out of time? Like, it's not an interrogation, but, like, the whole point was, like, oh, he might be able to get information out of him, and he was giving the information.
I can't tell you.
I realized that as we were watching. I was like, wait a minute.
I don't know. Either way, right after.
I know it's for like plot reasons because.
Well, one, plot reasons, and two, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because then 3 seconds later the sphere's attacked.
Well, here's the thing. It does make it because like the sphere's attacked. He gets his memories back. He beats the shit out of the guards and he runs out the door.
He pushes one of them.
I understand that they needed to have the guards come in, like, so that he could go out the door. I understand that, but it's like, at the same time, I'm like, y'all are fucking dumb. Like, you see what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Maybe it didn't, so Kanata didn't look like he was with the government or something. He was just like...
I don't know, maybe. It's not like he's in a uniform that has the same logo as the wall on the background of the cell that he is in.
It doesn't. It says TPU. It doesn't say Gut Select.
I thought he also had a TPU on his.
No, not on his jacket.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry then. Never mind.
I think Trigger did. No, I think Trigger just had the Gut Select too.
But anyway, yeah, the sphere's attack. And he gets
And,
out.
yep, and monsters everywhere. Like all the Sphere monsters, Sphere Negomaris,
They're everywhere.
Sphere Glomera, Sphere Red King.
Yeah, I think, 3 or 4 pop up?
Yeah.
You were naming them.
Like Terraphaser, then obviously absorbed more Sphere. He became more spherical.
Spherical.
Summoned these 3 pillars, and we're like, oh, fuck.
And it starts shooting up into the sky, putting out some sort of
Energy.
transmission.
And
EMP. I imagine an EMP because
yeah, they said it.
The stuff starts to fall out of the sky, the ships.
Yeah, the Nurse Daisei and the Guts Griffin. Yeah, they just kind of fall right out of the sky after it hits and everything. But it pretty much just becomes like, I don't know if there's really much to talk about. Like, this fight was awesome, like seeing Decker have to take on all of these monsters.
Yeah, and he's gotten a lot better because he actually managed to handle himself. He was getting thrown around like a rag doll.
Yeah, there was just a moment where they would literally just knock him, boom, laser, knock him,
They were straight up
boom,
shaking
laser,
him for his lunch money.
boom, laser. Yeah, like it seemed like, again, like we were talking like one of the earlier weeks, and I can't remember if I've edited this one or not, or if this is just when I'm remembering we recorded, but it was like, again, that like getting out of the car and just starting kicking the shit out of people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's what was happening to Decker, but he pulled it out, and then he had to fight Terraphaser, and he lost again.
Yeah, and Terraphaser got absorbed by a bunch more spheres.
Yeah. And
the gross stuff
like,
on his face expanded.
Yeah,
and now he's like starting to really.
Honestly, there's not.
He just kept saying flowers.
Yeah, he's losing it.
He's losing it.
It was a good fight though.
Oh, yeah.
And this was a spectacular episode, but there's really not much more to talk about outside of Decker was defeated again, and Raymond caught him.
Yeah. Yeah, and Mother Sphere showed up.
Yeah, and Trigger was just like, "What's this?"
Trigger was like, "Oh shit.
We're gonna need a bigger Earth."
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
That's a Jaws reference.
Mm-hmm.
We need more Christmas references. It was like when Rudolph came in, and he and Trigger was like, "Mother Sphere, with your chest light, please don't eat my planet tonight."
They're gonna get Harumba pummeled.
Oh my god. Yeah, you know next episode's gonna just have Trigger get his ass kicked.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Do we want to save
He's gonna be getting his lumps of coal, if you know what
Okay,
I mean.
my question is...
Hey, you unleash the Christmas puns inside me. Get ready for this.
Alright. Now here's the question we have to ask. Both, I feel, are very Christmas.
Sorry.
But do we want to go with the actual fully themed Christmas one for last? Or do we want to save that one? Or save Geets for last? Because I feel like Geets... Like,
Let's do Geets next so we can save the Christmas one for last.
Okay, are you sure?
Why not?
Okay, we're changing the order. Alright. Geets. So Ace lost last time.
Yep.
This motherfucker.
This motherfucker.
God,
where do we start with this one?
Like,
There's a lot to talk about, actually.
Yeah. First of all, here's the question I want to ask, because I kept asking it throughout the episode. Where did Punk Jack go? Yes, he was mind controlled. I know. They even put that in his picture for who won and who lost.
Questioning where he went.
Yeah, he's still in the intro. Yeah, they were like, "Oh, there's just 3 of us left." I'm like, "What about?"
Isn't there usually a big game board that shows who's lost?
Yeah, and it's like, was
Did it
Punk
show that
Check
he
still?
lost? I didn't see it. Or
Yeah, which by the way, again, I'm 90% sure this writer is paying off the title card guy, because as much as I wanted Geeks to be fully out of it, but they did pull Ace out in like the posing part and all of that. Was Punk Check in that part when they posed? I want to say he was, because he was. They showed
honestly,
the
I don't
actor.
remember.
I know they showed the actor and everything,
You know, I do think he was there.
but I don't know if he was in like the like
So
writer.
I guess he's around.
Yeah, again, but it's just, where did he go?
It literally didn't even.
I hope he didn't get like lobotomized or something. I hope he's okay.
I hope so too.
But yeah, no. So
Geets is just kind of doing his thing.
we're getting our final boss. Oh yeah, you can tell. We open up on Geets in his regular life, and he's like, I have a photo shoot and everything. He's like, oh, and I imagine you didn't know that because you work a lot, Dad. And you can tell the game master just wanted to fucking poison him. He's like, I didn't put laxatives in your eggs. What are you talking about?
He doesn't even like fully like poison him to kill him. He just poisons him enough so that he just has to shit himself all day.
That'll come back and bite him.
But yeah, so
We get to the final boss area.
and everyone is just like, oh, we're screwed.
Yeah, they're just like, oh. And it's similar to the one that we saw in the first episode, like the big castle looking thing.
Yeah, but it's like a big flower kind of.
Yeah, and like they're pretty much just saying, oh my god, I can't believe we're overwhelmed. Holy shit.
Wish we had Geets.
Yeah, like, where's Geets?
Buffa is just like, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
We can do it.
We got this. I'm gonna get my desired world. I know how to get it. I'm gonna go from the inside. And like even the game master's like, oh, it's Buffa's time, and then you know, we saw the preview last week, and then you get that sinking feeling, and you look at the calendar, and
you
you're just
realize
like,
it's Christmas, and you're like, oh no. And you look at who wrote and direct, you're like, oh no. I don't know if he directed. I know he wrote it though.
He wrote it. So yeah, Buffa dies. I'm upset.
Ace does come along because like Jamato attack his photo shoot, and then he runs out and he does witness.
He
Everything.
does save people.
He does like try to stop him. Weirdly enough.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you're injured. Don't.
Probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
And he tries to go for it, and he just gets blasted.
Which, by the way, he was just like getting his ass whooped. And again, he just like gives this full monologue to Geets of being like, give me something to believe in. He's like, you fucker.
Truly.
First he had the speech of like, all of you writers are the same to me. You're just nothing but fucking pieces of shit and I hate you all.
And then with this one, he's kind of like, unless you're lying again, prove to me that what you say is real.
Yeah, exactly. Give me something to believe in. And then he just dies.
Yeah.
Like
and Geets does end up touching like the ID core.
Yeah, he touched his ID core, which you mentioned when he touched it. You're like, oh my god, he touched his ID core, but why isn't he reacting or anything?
Yeah, I wondered if it was just like maybe the actor accidentally touched it, but no, there is he did genuinely like touch it and get his memories back in that moment.
Yeah.
Also, brief little mention, Tycoon also has like his little theory proven because one of the Jamato repeated.
Even Buffa saw it because she saw Shiroi.
Yeah.
The polar bear guy from the first episode.
He repeated him.
Like, yeah, he's like, the castle, you gotta be crazy.
And we learned a little something that we actually didn't, like, we picked up on, of, like, the wording that they were using, and we actually do think it's not, like, oh, it's just put that way because translation, like, it actually has meaning behind it, of, when you touch the ID cores, you get the memories.
You get your memories recovered, but like the immediate memories that flow to you first are the ones of the people remembering you.
Yeah, it's just like when he said be the Tycoon I know, that's because those were Geets' memories of Tycoon when he touched the ID core. Those were the ones that came through.
First, I'm imagining. Because it says he recovers them all. Because that's even what he says. He's like, oh, Buffa's memories recovered mine. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's one of those. And again, I'm just kind of bummed. Like, Buffa was, like, he was up there with one of my favorite, like, he had the fuck the establishment kind of mentality.
I feel like he must
He's coming back.
I mean, like, it's kind of been, like, the tradition, like, yeah, like, oh.
Look at it. Laser and X-Aid came back after he died. It took a little bit, but he came back.
I guess spoilers for X-Aid and also spoilers for
Zero One.
Before we continue.
Okay, the X-Aid one is too infamous.
I guess,
He
yeah.
literally died right after they were
There's,
like,
like, a meme
they,
of
when
it.
they were literally just singing
Maybe
Jingle Bells and they were all dancing. And then
I
2
know.
minutes later, he started holding his fucking corpse.
It wasn't just Jingle Bells.
Oh my
It
god.
was Poppy's version of Jingle
We are
Bells.
not. We are going to save that. No, we're gonna have to. We're saving that for another day and another podcast.
Oh, we haven't played that yet. We need to play that.
Okay.
Nah. But anyway, yeah, and in 01,
Jin
died
died
on
around the same time. Like, don't
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong,
I
but
don't
like,
know if it was on Christmas, but it was around the same
like
time.
yeah, it was in December because it was around when he got. Or no, I guess it might have been a little before. No, maybe not too long after, because I know Thouser came in the same month, I think. But like, I want to say when he got Rising Assault Hopper, um, when he kills Jin was near Christmas, and Jin comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we think Buffa is gonna come back. He's too much of an
They all
important
came
character.
back.
Yeah, that and it's like if Tycoon does win, which again leaves so much potential for so much more stuff that he is going to come back. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter I guess of when. You know what I mean?
Anyway, so Geets, despite not being a writer anymore, does go back with them
To the thing.
to their little hub, I guess.
Yeah, their little snack bar. And he reveals to the other two, to Neon and Kaiwa, that Gory is the game master, the concierge, the butler. He is the game master. And Geets is just like, give me back my shit. And he's just like, no. Hey guys, how about you guys try harder? And they're like, dude, we're way too.
We're getting whooped.
They're like, this is way. Which again,
We're not
we'll
experienced
get into a little bit of a theory later.
And they did say, they even said like yet, like they know that like they want to keep going, but they're not strong enough yet.
Yeah, exactly, and that's something even Ace acknowledges. You know what I mean. And overall, it kind of we get a thing earlier though, if you remember correctly, where he talked to the game master and the Jamato man were talking to each other when he was calling the final boss.
Right.
And he was just like, "Hey, there's a good one. He's gonna be coming
I
soon."
got a juicy one for you.
Yeah. And he's just like, and maybe this time we'll win. And I think that was pretty much the end of that conversation.
He's like, oh, you underestimate me or something like that.
Yeah, you underestimate us. And then you pretty much get him trying to entice Neon and Kaiwa
Yeah, he like bribes them
with the boost buckle, and
like he's even like, you're not supposed to interfere with if they win or lose.
yeah, we're not your Geets tells him again, he's like, we're not your pawns. And then Surumi comes in for the play.
Boss ass bitch.
Because he's just keeps saying like the game master keeps saying you're not eligible, you're not fit to be a common, you're not worthy of being a common rider.
And she's like, hell yeah, he is. And then she holds up his past desire card. That's like, as long as I am alive, I will be a common rider.
Yeah, I'm Desire Grand Prix participant.
Exactly, something along those lines. So she's like, so as long as he's alive, he's Common Rider Geets.
Yeah, he is
Which
Geets.
makes me just think, oh, now he's gonna try and kill the bastard.
So we're hoping Surumi doesn't just suddenly disappear one day like Punk Jack.
Because he looked pissed.
Yeah, he looked like he's breaking. By the way, if you do know anything about scans, I know you don't know, but I know certain things. Don't talk about them in the comments.
No spoilers.
Not yet. We will get to them. Trust me, we will get to them.
And also Nyago calls, like, everyone basically starts ganging up on him.
Yeah,
they're like, hey, I know that my dad's a sponsor.
Yeah, and even
and Tycoon gets ignored, but it's like, hey,
what are the Jamato?
What exactly are the Jamato? They're getting stronger, and like, do they have anything to do with the dead riders?
Yeah, exactly. And he just straight up gets ignored, and like even Surumi's just like, we can't keep this up anymore. And like fucking the game master's like, shut up. No, just fine. Get out there. Somebody fucking kill the thing. And Geets kills the monster in an epic cool fight, which was pretty much.
Is that how Buffa saw him?
Maybe.
Wow.
Who knows?
But anyway, yeah, well, he's basically out there just
taking names.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, exactly. And like he just goes through the, hey, these toys are on the shelves, kids. Which one do you want for Christmas?
Buy them all.
So which I have.
Yeah.
On the computer, you have to name it something. So I have. Um, and you pretty much get Geet's whooping ass changing forms. We see Magnum Boost for the 4th time.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I love this show. I love the fights. Like
You
that's
tell
something
that's
I want.
him in his prime. Like that's him at his best.
Yeah, like he was just going through people with Boost. Which, by the way, again, something I want to give Geets every week. Like I love the choreography and everything they're doing for it. The interesting cameras and everything.
Oh, yeah, those are
like the spinning. Like there's so much style into the fighting in this show. And then you have like, well, not anymore, but the brutality of like Buffa, and then like Nyago and Tycoon are kind of working
different fighting styles.
like exactly, and it's like the flashiness of how Geets rolls is fucking amazing. Which, by the way, I didn't realize right away that Geets just took all of the buckles. Like you saw him pick up the boost buckle and say, "I'm borrowing this," so I guess they just let him take the rest.
I don't know.
Like,
probably, or maybe Tycoon still has them.
Who knows? And then we pretty much have he pretty much beats him. He cannons the thing to death, which was awesome. Like it was so cool.
He reiterates his past quote of like, "Oh, castles always crumble from the inside," or something.
He's
like
like, "Oh, the castles
can also crumble from the outside if you have the right tool," or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly,
that.
and then he just vaporizes it.
Buff is just like, "Fuck off!" Like,
Yeah, he's in hell somewhere, just being like, "Ah, damn it," or in heaven. You never know. Tried his best.
He wanted to murder a bunch of people.
They were dickweeds though.
Yeah.
But then we pretty much get.
Is that kind of where it ends, or?
That's pretty much where it ends. But then, like, you remember, like, Geets is like, "Why didn't the game end? Why isn't it reset?"
Oh, right, yes.
And then you can tell that the game master is very desperate because he's allowing Geets to undo his loss.
Giving him a chance.
Yeah, and he's giving a desire god, deity, whatever, playoff. So we're gonna find out what that is next episode. Next episode.
No, they said it was a fox hunt.
Wait, no, I know that's what they said in the preview.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, it looks like it.
They're hunting Geets' ass.
Here's Surumi, is it?
Yeah, I think it's Surumi, the game navigator.
Yeah, and you even hear her say it like, "Oh, it's forbidden for players to fight against each other."
In there. But then we also have Lord Reginald came back.
Yeah. He's like, "No, that was real."
Yeah, exactly. He was so excited. He's like Geets. He's a real big Geets fan. I get
#1 Geets stan.
Yeah. And overall, that was a fun episode. Like, it was sad. Like I said, I'm so sad to see Buffa go. But damn, is the plot thickening like a lot.
Again, I imagine we'll see him again.
I don't think it's the
end. I wasn't very emotional, like at all.
It's not sad. It's just more of a fucking damn it.
Yeah, and it was sad though. I did feel really bad.
Yeah.
The actor did a great job too.
The actor did a great job. He didn't get flowers either, so we actually know he's not gone yet. Not yet. But I guess let's move on to the Christmas-filled.
Oh, we didn't talk about our theory.
Oh, our theory real quick.
Because
we had the theory earlier on, and this is kind of us refining it a little bit because we thought we're like, oh, what if the Jamato are like they're using the broken ID cores as seeds and the Jamato are becoming them? I actually thinking about that and thinking about how we were hearing the memories be transferred into the ID cores. I had the thought of just, well, what if instead of the ID cores being the Jamato growing and sprouting it, it's what's feeding them. That's their nutrients, and that's what's making them, like, be able to be, like, advancing. And that's why all of them are saying these different quotes from all the other dead riders, is because they all have it in their minds.
I'm just going to call him the gardener, because we don't really know what else to call him.
I call him Jamato Man.
Jamato Man. The Tomato Man. And he did say it's just like, oh, they're... like
nutrients.
They're having nutrients and they're learning, like
evolving.
Nutrients and learning is what gets them to evolve, or something like that. So it's like, oh, what if it's actually just like the memories, and also the connection with like, oh, this is how they see you, and the connection to memories in general.
So if we see one start acting like Buffalo, we know why.
Yeah.
So it's
We also wanted to say we thought I think this kind of got disproven by the time like the preview showed up. We were wondering like, oh, because a lot of it had to do with like, oh, he's not qualified as a writer. He can't even become the desired deity. He can't have his desire fulfilled anymore, even if he does win. Whose desire is going to be fulfilled? We had wondered like, oh, I wonder if he's just going to be like, oh, just let one of the others get it or something like that.
either that, or I would like, what if it was just a clean sweep, like just nobody got their world, so it's just a normal world.
Yeah, a clean slate.
Yeah.
So, those are some ideas.
Those are some ideas. Also, wait, we forgot to mention, Geets wrote down behind a poster his shit, so he's
No, he had like a little like game to find it too. It's just like, oh, the first thing he woke up and saw on his poster was the first thing a star does is look in the mirror, and it's like he looks in the mirror, and it's just like, oh, can you imagine blah 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 blah, which makes you look at the poster behind.
He
it.
Da Vinci
like,
coded his room.
Oh, you can always look behind the star to figure out blah blah blah, and then he pulled it back, and there was a fucking note from himself that's just like,
he's
listen,
like,
man, you've lost your memories, and here's what's up. Like,
he's like, don't worry, me.
so
I
he
got
was
this.
planning on losing.
He knew it.
He knew it. This guy's freaking smart.
This motherfucker. Again, I can't believe how much they're actually playing into him as a fox.
I love it.
I love it so much. But I guess now it is time to get to the Christmas, definitely post-Christmas, Christmas episode.
What a ride. This one wasn't too serious. This one had a lot of, it was mainly just for fun.
The Naoto have to learn Santa.
Yeah, apparently it was like because they do get their
land and they exist because in their world.
Because of humans as a small form of appreciation, they once a year
Santa.
Be Santa and give the children something to hope and dream about.
In the Naoto are the ones we know, Sonaza and all of them.
They're all embarrassed about it at first.
Yeah,
like,
they can't fight in the week of Christmas.
Yeah.
They're not allowed.
Because it starts off with them just like fighting over and over.
Yeah,
and over
week
again.
to week. And we pretty much
All in
have this
cross.
also this little girl who's like, I believe in Santa.
They're like,
And they're
"You're
just
a
like,
nerd."
who? Who is he? Tell us everything. What's he smell like?
Well, no, there's like other kids making fun of her. But
Well,
then
no.
they're just like, you saw him? Like,
Yeah, exactly. And pretty much they're like, oh, we have to do a standard Christmas movie. And Haruka's like, and then it will end with Santa going over the moon and telling us Happy Christmas.
And sprinkling magic or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
But Taro is just like, no, Santa's real. And then a live breaking and entering happens at his house.
yeah, and he starts taking his stuff.
And we're just like,
And they're like, that was probably a thief disguised as Santa. It's like, huh. And they're like, like Santa's actually just parents that pretend
yeah.
to like, and people dress up as Santa to promote.
That's what the
business.
kids were saying.
It's like,
Yeah.
huh, interesting.
That's
anyway,
it. Like,
I actually did see him though.
yeah. And then Kaido was like,
Yeah, I saw him too.
Kaido's like, my best friend is Santa.
It wasn't that like an episode in Zenkaiger?
I can't remember, but there was definitely a Christmas. No, that was Christmas World. That was the Christmas Zenkaiger episode. So I don't think this has anything to do with Zenkaiger.
Oh, I thought you had mentioned something about.
I
like,
thought
the
it might have.
episode.
It might. I would have to rewatch it.
Yeah, it's like they had like vowed to both be heroes or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly. And
That. Like forever or something.
yeah, and like all of a sudden, like they pretty much go find him, and he's like, yeah, he was reborn as a Hiroyutsuki, and you find out he was just trying to be hip, and got arrested.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
But Taro was also just like he saw him, and he was like, it's him.
And wasn't he like Go 5? By the
No,
way?
he was 5-man.
5-man. That's what it was.
He had like these 6 arms and everything.
It looked cool.
Yeah, it was a neat monster.
And yeah, so he started like packaging presents, but it was trash.
He was giving him trash.
Like it was like old used toothbrushes or like
Stinky shoes.
stinky shoes or like cans with like a little bit of food still in them, like stuff like that.
And they're like, we need to cure Santa and save Christmas.
Need to kill Santa.
Oh my god.
So they're by the way, now they're off practicing being Santa.
Yeah, they're like, you
Because
need
Taro-
endurance.
Taro's like, you need endurance and you need a smile. You need an award-winning smile. So you see them training like how we saw the Dawn Brothers do that one time, and they like practice smiling at each other, and he's just like, "Your smiles are too seductive," or
Yeah, exactly.
"Yours is terrifying," and they start arguing about it. It's
Yeah.
really cute.
It was a fun episode. And then it was a fun episode with it ultimately ending really kind of sweet and everything. Like I said, there wasn't a ton of fighting. It was literally just the Naoto have to be Santa.
Oh well, they did fight Murasame at one point.
Yeah, well, yeah, Murasame helps out with the monster, helps defeat the monster almost.
We saw Lupin and Pacha Ranger.
Oh yeah, the altars. Yeah, the altars.
And
we haven't seen that thing forever.
We saw
Sour Brother carry
him for a little bit, but we also saw during the Murasame fight they broke apart.
Oh yeah. They turned into the like just the regular Robotaros.
Which I love seeing. I'm glad to see.
Yeah,
again.
and then they immediately went into Kiwami.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So they learned the true meaning of Christmas, but like Taro said goes to Santa.
While the Naoto are off doing Santa things,
and Taro goes to Santa and says,
they practice good smiles.
They actually did a good job.
Good job.
And this is like the sweetest moment of it all. In this, was Taro goes to Santa with a sack of presents. He's like, I remember that night you came to me and you said you had ran out of presents and asked if I could have some of your toys to donate so you can give it to other kids. And then you played a game with me that night.
Yeah, they play cards.
Yeah, exactly. So you see him playing cards and it's super cute. He's like, oh.
And I've saved money ever since then so that in case like I ever needed to give presents again, I could. And he hands him a sack full of stuff.
He's like, we need you out there.
Like other kids need you, yeah.
And it was a really sweet moment. It gets you really good Christmas.
And even Santa was just like, because he's like, I don't know if I can anymore. But he's like, I'm gonna give it a try. And he goes back into his Santa form instead of his hobo form.
He regains Santa.
And he's just like, I like you better this way.
Yeah, and you see this like little smile and like Taro. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was really sweet. He gave him a little head pat, and Taro looked actually like.
Juro just kind of
really
showed up
cute.
this episode, by the way. He was just
like,
what?
Guys, you forgot me.
He's like, you guys started without me, and like Inoue Brothers like join the club.
But yeah, like I have to just emphasize that cute smile that Taro got when Santa gave him a little head pat. That was really precious.
Like yeah, but there's not a whole lot to really talk about. It was a genuinely fun Christmas episode.
And everyone sees Santa as he's going by, including Haruka. That's just like called it.
Yeah, just like nailed it.
Exactly, that happens with him with Merry Christmas. The most terrifying CGI reindeer I have seen.
Those are the most nightmarish, terrifying, and terrible CGI reindeer. They
paid a whole $8 for one of those models.
And just used it a bunch more. Like, these are bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's one CGI model they're gonna use one time in one episode on like a Christmas special, so I get it. It's not important, but it did look really funny bad.
Oh my god. Overall, it was a really good, fun episode. Especially, like, this is something I might try to watch again when the holidays come around, just because it's just that much fun.
It was fun.
Like, this is an episode I could see people who, like, just love this show and are just like, you know what, it's the holiday season, so why not let's watch the Naoto do Christmas.
Watch the Naoto be Santa.
And it was just genuinely good. They also put on beards.
All three of them.
Yes, all three of them put on beards.
Nice.
Oh. But yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, do you have anything else really to say?
No, I think we pretty much said everything as we went that I wanted to.
Yeah, it's like there's not a whole lot to really talk about with Dawn Brothers outside of being fun Christmas.
Yeah, and it was nice, good feels.
So yeah.
I wasn't expecting Momotaro to be that heartwarming.
So obviously the winner this week is Dawn Brothers. This is being recorded on Christmas. It has to be the winner of this episode.
Yeah,
it's holiday law. And I know this is going to be post-Christmas, but I hope you had a great one.
Yeah, Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy holidays if you celebrate something else. And good vibes if you don't.
And if you just want to chill out, just chill out.
Yeah, good
watch
vibes.
some Toku. Or not.
Plenty
Who
of
knows?
it.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff to watch. So,
do you guys have any Toku Christmas specials that you particularly enjoy that you like to watch every year?
Oh God, there's so many different ones, but there's also some that you're just like, oh, do these count?
I don't know. If there's any like standouts for anybody, I thought that would be a fun question.
Yeah. Put your favorite Toku Christmas episode and tell us why it's the laser one down in the comments.
Oh, and also you hit 130 subscribers recently.
Oh yes, I did.
Yeah, you're growing super quick, and I'm super proud of you. This is awesome.
I don't know if it's quick. Yeah.
That's really good growth, man. You really are doing really good. I'm proud of you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you. We couldn't have done that without you guys. Thank you so much for listening.
We hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year.
Well, it's probably gonna be the new year by the time this comes out.
Probably.
So, hope you guys are enjoying 2023.
Sorry I sounded crappy because I was sick, but hopefully I'll sound better next time.
So, until next week. Bye.